Hello, 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 and it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time already. It's Christmas time. So if you're watching this in June or August, you're probably thinking he's lost his mind. So there you go. Yes, for this is the 9th of December 2025. We might as well get seasonal. And here I am. Just going to take a moment. Just need to take a moment. Because I've just watched the latest episode of Welcome to Derry, and it was a bit. That's why I'm a bit late actually, because I didn't realize it was a bit longer this week, and I'm a little bit discombobulated by it. No spoilers. Episode 7. Now that's how you do TV, and if you caught my review of the war between. That's what we're competing with. Welcome to Derry, episode 7. Even if you don't watch the entire show, go and watch that. Go and watch that episode, and I tell you, an emotional roller coaster. It truly is. And I'm not a Stephen King fan. I've never even seen it. Only like clips of it, bits of it. You know, bits with Tim Curry. You know, I've only seen. I've never watched it. I've no interest in it. But because Welcome to Derry is on, we've been watching it, and that's how you do television. I seriously need a stiff drink. Seriously, it really got well. All of us, we watched it. It was like that was something else. Anyway, Andrew's in. He says hello. He says, "Rip to Steve Cropper of Booker T and the MG's Green Onions." That's it. That's all I know. Payne's in. Good evening, and everyone who's watching. And he says, "Just read that Raul Mallow of the Mavericks has died of cancer, age 60. Not a fan or anything. It's just another sad thing. There's always a pre-Christmas rush followed by a New Year one. Well, we're getting them thick and fast. If you know any dead people, please mention them in the comments box below. There we go. If you know anyone who's died recently, knock it out." Andrew says he's never heard of the Mavericks. And Payne says, not a very current band, sort of Tex-Mex country. Yeah, I've heard of them. They're not the ones who did I wanna dance the night away. Is that the Mavericks from the 90s? Is that the Mavericks? Sounds like it would be them. And then Payne says, "I hope Darren and folks are right." Yep, I am. And perhaps he thought he scheduled for later. No, what happened was I scheduled it for 10 with the intention of Welcome to Derry lasting an hour, maybe a little bit sooner, but then it was actually on for a lot longer than that because extra minutes I didn't realise, because every episode's usually like an hour long, and it just went on a bit longer than I anticipated. So I should have scheduled for 10:15, but I scheduled for 10, and Andrew says, "Happy Christmas indeed. If people are watching this July, they're late." Exactly. Or they're early. Or they're early for the next Christmas. They're anticipating the Doctor Who special. I would have worn my Santa hat, but I can't remember what I've done with it. I'm gonna have to look for it. I thought I had it to hand, but I haven't. I've got a Christmas monkey. Does that count? Christmas monkey? No. But I don't know what I've done with my Santa hat. I thought I had it in the room, but obviously I must have put it somewhere. I have to put it in a drawer or something. But yeah, normally I have it to hand. But these things happen. The tree is up. The dog's already left the room, but we can do Christmas tree. The camera's the camera's working. See, there you go. The tree is up, and there's some tinsel there. So. Yeah, Christmas has well and truly arrived, so Merry Christmas everyone, and all that jazz. Sorry, non-denominational winter festival, just so everybody's on the right page. Got to be careful. Don't want to upset anyone. And yes, a dog came. No, she's not here. She's skedaddled. She's nowhere to be seen. No, I'm having a look. Can't see her, so there you go. So Anyone else wanna? Anyone else got anything to say? That's it then. Are we done? Hooray! It's all over. Payne says, do you think there'll be an interesting last episode for the war between? Will Kate laugh and shock us all? I think, well, what's her name has hinted that she's not going to make it. And Davis says, watch to the end. Watch to the end. Look, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. It doesn't bear any scrutiny. And like I said, I'm watching all sorts of telly at the moment. Like I said, I'm watching Welcome to Derry, which again, I don't have any real... I'm not a Stephen King fan, per se. I remember reading it. It was either in... I think it was Woolworths at Baker's Arms, where I actually ended up working. I was in there once, and I think it's when it came out. When was that published? Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just going to open the old Google. When was the book published? 86. Yeah, so it would have been around 86. At that time, I was reading a lot of like James Herbert. James Herbert, British horror writer, did all sorts of good stuff, and not just horror. He did a one called Fluke, where a guy dies and comes back as a dog, and I just absolutely loved that story because dogs. But I've started reading. You know, when you pick up a book on the shelf, you know, like you did. Because I used to do it in W.H. Smith's, but I started reading this It book, and Stephen King is so verbose and unnecessary in his writing style that it just turned. I just went, ugh, and I just put it back on the shelf. And I've never read any other Stephen King because I don't think he's a very good writer. Just from that, I just read it and went, no, there's nothing in it. He's not Clive Barker, he's not Herbert, he's not any of those people that I enjoyed. I mean, again, Barker's very verbose, but he weaves a story. He weaves and draws you in. Stephen King's writing, I just find very, very difficult. Found it very difficult to get into. So I'm not really a Stephen King fan. Of course, I like The Shining because it's a Stanley Kubrick thing. And I've enjoyed some of the Stephen King movies that have been around, but I'm not a fan like some people are. And I thought Welcome to Derry would be an interesting thing, and it has some of those ideological elements in it, but because of the time it's set, it works because those issues were at play, if you know what I mean, with race riots and everything. So that kind of works. It kind of works. So I've been kind of enjoying that. But the production quality of it, even though it's quite a small thing, 'cause it's set in a small town, it's like a movie every week. It's really, it's not a TV show. It's bigger than that, and it's those production values that us in the UK have to kind of match and replicate. And I don't think we can do it. I just don't think we have it in us to look at what's going on in America. Again, even something like Pluribus, which is Vince Gilligan's sci-fi invasion, alien invasion story, it's not an expensive show. Again, it's very small in its outlook, but what it does, it tells it tells an intriguing story rather slowly. Again, Gilligan is the master of the glacial storytelling. It can be irritating. The first couple of episodes really irritate me, but it's beginning to, almost pick up pace with introduction of other characters, but not a lot of money has been spent on it. It's more of a character study. It's writing character. Crikey, the lead character is a lesbian, but that is not the major plot point. That's not the issue. Her same-sex marriage is not, if the Davis had done it, they'd have hit you over the head with it until you'd have been unconscious, because both of these shows write the story from the human angle. They're very human writers, whereas Davis is purely ideological. It's how can we cram this message into the story whole of the public. Again, we all know what's going on in the seas. We don't need it spelt out to us, but hey, we're going to hit you over the head one more time. Everything is always writ large and writ stupid. It's not clever. He couldn't be clever even if he tried. You know, and that's the problem I have with him. And I always thought that Davis was again, in his early days, I thought he was going to be up there with Dennis Potter, and he has really disappointed me because he has no depth to his writing, and that's where we're at. There's not a lot to it. It's all surface. It's all ugh. So you know. So there we go. Payne says TV. There's a lot of it, isn't there? Yeah, there is a lot of it. But again, I don't watch much BBC apart from the fishing programme, or maybe The Apprentice when it comes back, or Dragon's Den. But there's not a lot on there for me there. So I tend to watch the big event shows because I want to feel like I'm part of a cultural zeitgeist, even though there is no culture anymore. So that's why I tend to tune into these things. And again, as a fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I thought I'd check out the Gilligan Show, and you know, it's on Apple TV, which is again, is a bit expensive, and as soon as it ends I will stop paying for it. You know, but it just, you know, American TV just knows how to tell a story, and we are just thrashing around in the dirt. You can see why Disney looked at that show and just said, what the actual because it's like a kids show. It's like a kids show, and you know, he says, oh, you know, there's more adult themes in it. I think Torchwood was more adult facing than this, and again, it's a show that I don't think anybody wanted or needed, to be honest. You know, so yeah, it's going to have to do an amazing thing to turn itself around, and you know, I don't know how it can save itself. Like I said, unless Russell Tovey suddenly goes all Rambo on this and, you know, takes out the Sea Devils single-handed, you know, with a bayonet. There's not much very meat on the bones of this TV show. You know, it's just preachy. Humans bad, Sea Devils good, preachy. So, ugh. Renee's in. I'm sorry, all the names are changed again because they did this. They've gone back to the ampersand, so Renee's name looks completely unintelligible. But hello, Renee, and Clive's in. He says, "I love the Christmas theme." Yeah, well, again, every year at this time, I polish my baubles and I festoon them with glitter and tinsel. And present them to the public to marvel at. So I hope you're marvelling at me baubles. And Payne says he's got the trimmings up before me. You mean you haven't got them up yet? My goodness. Well, you know, everyone around here in this location, it was even in the last week of November, people putting their Christmas trees up. So I felt like we were a little bit late, you know. I used to do it properly before, you know, the old 12 days before and 12 days after. But, you know, when you have kids, you tend to get earlier and earlier into December, don't you? Because kids. Payne says, perhaps UNIT could manage the next underground extension. They seem to do big tubes double quick time. That's how you know it's science fiction, because there's absolutely no way we'd be able to build a giant tunnel into the bloody Thames. And again, that should be festooned with turds and used condoms and tin cans and soiled nappies and whatnot floating around. But hey, it's almost like it's the Mediterranean Sea out there, you know, because it's all about spectacle. It's all about visuals. No one's actually thought about the logistics and the internal world building that needs to be done to facilitate such imagery. It's just cobblers. It's just cobblers, you know. Payne says our streets look like Blackpool with all the outside lights. Yeah, again, you got to get festive, Mr. Payne. You got to get festive. You got to get in the spirit of it. And Andrew says, been very stormy here, gales. Been a bit breezy here too. Because it's been mild, you know, it was 13, 14 degrees here today. and very damp and very gusty. Because that's what you get when it's mild and damp this time of year. You tend to get the winds, don't you know? So yeah, hold on to your hats. So yeah, that's how many advice I can give, I'm afraid. So yeah. Oh yeah. Storm Bram unleashes chaos on Britain. He says, looking at the Daily Mail website. I look at the Daily Mail website because it's free. Well, some of it is. And look, it's stormy out there. You don't want to go out there, mate. You want to stay inside. So, yeah, a bit breezy, a bit gusty out there. Roads closed, 90 miles per hour winds. This is in Northern Ireland. Here's someone driving in their van. Gosh, it's just like good old days of coffee time, isn't it? Who remembers that? That's again, that's in Northern Ireland. Playground. What, the ocean? Don't think so. Put that sign in the wrong place. This is in Galway. Hey, what happened? I didn't want an advert about cybercrime pop up. How did that happen? Oh, blimey. This is in Hampshire. We'll explain that to the insurers, eh? You could say they flooded the engine. Ah, that's Dawlish. I can recognise that. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been on that train? It's quite remarkable. I have dreams of being on that train sometimes with the waves. Yeah, funny that. That's in Devon as well. That's down in Bournemouth in Dorset. That's in York. The River Derwent burst its banks. Oh dear. That's Waterloo Bridge. Not so much as a Waterloo sunset, more like a Waterloo upset, because his brolly's blown outside in. And yeah, Cornwall, York again. And don't drink the yellow rain. And there you go. It's done it again. Why do you keep doing that? Must be an advert thing. So there you go. Very breezy. Very breezy out there. So yeah, stay indoors. Don't go anywhere. I do try and warn you. You know, stay indoors. Dangerous out there, isn't it? Just. So yeah. Payne says yes, very mild for December the 9th, indeed. And it's tomorrow here. They're in 16 degrees. Fantastic. Means the gas bill's going to be cheap. You know, I can't wait. Personally, I don't mind it. I don't mind winter not being winter, but the big fear for me is that in January and February we're going to feel it. It's going to be more. And Andrew says yes, I have been to Dawlish. And Payne adds, there's always a photo of Porthcawl Lighthouse on days like this. Well, again, I think you need any lighthouse will do, isn't it? With the story, with the waves battering. That's what you want. You want the waves battering the lighthouse. So that's a job I wouldn't mind. Lighthouse keeper. I wonder if I could apply. Hey. Mind you, got super flu. I'm just looking at the Daily Mail. So super flu sweeping the UK. So, have you had all had your flu shot this year? And I have. I had mine in October. So you know, I had a little bit of the sneezes last week, but you know, and it kept coming back. It kept wanting, but I'm feeling touch wood. I'm feeling a bit tickety boo at the moment. So you know, that's all right. Well, apart from all the aches and pains that you get from this. Well, from what I'm going through, but yeah, it's just boring. Nobody wants to talk about that. So yes. Any more? Should we stop now? Anyone got a topic that you want to set me off on? Otherwise, I'll just start talking about music. My music, that is. Oh no. Andrew says, prog review from your own lighthouse. Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, I saw there's a place, right? There's a place for sale. I'm not going to say where it is, just in case any of you find it. But I always say, oh, we should move, mainly because it'd be really useful to have a slightly smaller mortgage, or at least get the mortgage paid off and get out of this place. And I found this place. I'm not going to say where it is, and it's like 5 bedrooms. Like, oh, right. But outside, they've got a separate part that has its own kind of bar. Yeah, it's got a bar, and you've got room for like a snooker table, maybe some Space Invaders machines. It's even got a separate room, and I'm thinking recording room, recording studio, my own proper studio lock. And wouldn't it be good to do live streams from behind my own bar? And I'm trying to convince the missus to go along with it, but I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Mind you, it's come to light that Epping Forest District Council, from next year, from next March, 60 quid a year they're charging extra to collect our green waste. Can you believe that? That's one way of putting up the council tax without putting up the council tax, isn't it? So yeah, it's gonna be bloodshed out there. Bloodshed, I tell you. Renee says, in the weekend the temperature will go down again, but the sun will be shining. Oh, well, I hope so. Well, I don't know. Again, I still want it. Maybe for you, because you're in the Diddlands, and I don't know if is your weather a bit cooler than ours on the continent. I think it might be a bit, because we're an island. Our temperature can be all over the show. We can. In the morning it can be raining. In the afternoon it can be sunny. That's the joy of island life. So I don't know. I'd like it to remain warm. Andrew says, I can see you pulling pints. Oh no, I won't be pulling pints, because it'll just be a fizzy water for me, I'm afraid. But no, it's just I saw this place. I mean, I would put up the pictures, but I don't want you to identify it, because I know what you people are like. I might see if I can pull up one picture, but we're not. It's not like we're going to actually make an offer on it. Well, I don't think so, anyway. Save properties. I bet it's already sold. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's still on the market. It's still on the market. But I'll show you the bar. Here you go. Right, I'm gonna zoom in. Right, I'm gonna zoom in. I've got to be careful, because I don't I don't give too much away, just in case you put an offer in and you beat me to it, right? But yeah, look, this is the bar. Look, what do you think? What do you think? How cool is that? Hey, that'd be good. Set up a camera there. Hey, put up a camera. That could be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Look, and like I said, there's enough room for a pool table as well. What do you think? What do you think? That's at the other end. And then there's this mystery room, which I think they're using as a, well, I'm doing there. Look, of course, I'd get rid of that. It'd be a drum kit. It'd be a drum kit there, and it'd be a recording studio. There you go. But it's convincing the missus to let me go there. But you never know. Might be able to convince her next year. Payne says, the Lighthouse on the 13th Doctor episode revealing the fugitive Doctor is really off the coast of Newport, South Wales. That's my Lighthouse info done. Well, at least in the Chibnall era, at least they took the people out and about and they travelled around. I know a lot of people don't like that era and they don't like, whatever, but I quite enjoy bits of it, And it's a shame that I really hope one day that Chibnall, spills the beans about what happened, especially with the flux. I think there's about 3 episodes missing from that series, and because a lot of that happened over the COVID period, and there was stories of budgets being slashed, and that's why the story feels so you know, lopsided, and some of the characters who are in it don't really have much to do. You think, why are they in it? But it was still better than what we had now. At least he was trying to do something different, you know. Oh well. Payne also adds, we usually get the coldest weather in January and early February. Exactly. It's January and February that's the killer. You know, we can have mild Decembers, you know, but my fear is if you have a really mild December, you're going to have a real harsh January and February, and I don't want that. I want it to be nice and mild until March, and then we have spring. That'd suit me down to the ground. Payne says, wouldn't want to be barman where they're playing darts. I know, they've kind of put the dartboard in the wrong place, didn't they? They didn't really think that one through. You don't really want to be ducking and diving as darts come flying at your head, but you know, there you go, a little bit of an oversight. Andrew says, is it anywhere near me? No. No, it's in the county of wherever. I can't give it away. Payne says, only if you're anywhere near it. Indeed. Yes, if you live close to it. No, it's nowhere near you, Andrew, or Payne. It's a little bit close to me, I suppose. I'm the closest to it. If we're doing it on geographical location, I think I'm closest to it. So there you go. It's somewhere in Essex, but Essex is a big place. But it's not anywhere near here. But I'm still nearest to it compared to you, if that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But again, I don't know. Maybe next year it might have to be. We'll have to wait and see. I think the financial issues might really raise their heads next year. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So yeah. Is that the sound of a hot beverage? I do believe it is.
It sure
there you
is.
go. Cheers. Thanks for that.
That's okay.
Is she out there?
She is, yeah.
Oh, I might be able to get a bit of dog cam in. Wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. It's a bit dark, isn't it? She's there. Oh, she's gone. She ran away. She was there and then she ran off. She must have seen me grab the camera. That's not right, is it? That dog's just one step ahead of me. She's too clever. Oh, that is hot. Blimey. Oh, hot beverage. Chelmsford, no. No. Oh, what? Being very careful. Being very quiet. So very, very quiet. Because I don't want to disturb her. But there we are. Get some good quality dog cam there. It's all good stuff. Good quality dog cam. There you go. That was lucky. I thought she was going to run off then. She seems to have settled. So there we go. And Alex is in. This is evening. Evening, Alex. How are you? Are you good? Is everyone good? Oh, it's very, very thirsty, but very thirsty. You do get thirsty though when you're talking, don't you? Don't get that anywhere else, you know. You don't get that anywhere else. So what else should we talk about? Is there anything else? Is that it? Andrew says, "Lot long before Wish You Were Here." Come. That's at the end of the week, 50th anniversary. I don't know if that that Fancy Pants vinyl. I don't know if that's been. I don't know if that's been dispatched yet. Crikey, I can't remember where I bought it from. Where did I get it from? Wish You Were Here, 50th anniversary vinyl. Right, that one. Wait a minute, oh, that didn't work. Oh, someone's got him listed on eBay already for £105. Blimey. I could be quids in. Couldn't I? I could be quids in. Oh, Bad World. That's who it was. Again, this is what I've got on pre-order. That is full of liquids. That's going to be cool. I'm quite looking forward to that. I listened to the album actually at the weekend. Look at that. I listened to 2 Pink Floyd albums on Sunday. I listened to this and I listened to the modern remix of Animals. I see, because I'm one of those weird people. I'm not a big fan of this album. I wouldn't say it's my favourite record of theirs. I find it a little bit too noodly, a little bit too space rock for my liking. I like the songs parts of things. I like Roy Harper's appearance, but I find it a bit dull compared to, say, Animals. And the missus was with so was Sunday, and Mrs. was saying to you, I don't think you remember, but you bought me this on CD. First time I actually heard the whole album, I think it was, I can't remember, maybe my friend Warren might have played it to me, I don't know. He was more into Dark Side and Piper. Those were the two. Oh, and Saucerful as well. Those were the ones in rotation, and a bit of Meadow actually. I don't remember him ever playing Me Wish You Were Here, but I remember those ones, and of course The Wall, because we watched the film. But I don't remember Wish You Were Here. But the missus, she got me it on CD for Christmas. I think it was our first Christmas, so it would have been 88. It could have been 89. Memory. It was a long time ago. She got it for me on CD. That was the first time I heard it. I remember listening to it on Christmas. Was it Christmas Eve? I think she let me open it on Christmas Eve. So it would have been Christmas. It would have been early Christmas morning. I think I'd have walked her home, and I remember listening to it on headphones in bed, thinking, it's all right. Bit spacey, but that's it. And she says he's getting the Blu-ray. I might also put the Blu-ray order in, because he says, this is how good I am. It's how good I am, right? He reaches down effortlessly. He said, because he says, and then he has to shuffle through all these CDs. He said, because I've got that one, and so I should get the. I've got all my Blu-rays right here, because when I put the tree up, I'd know where to put my Blu-rays, and I've put them on the floor here. So there's a good danger of me falling over them when. See, it's the it's that. It's got a look, the CD. See the Blu-rays hiding in there. Look, who lives in there? He does. Atmos, everyone. It's the future. Atmos, it's the future. See, and I've got who are you? And I've got Split Ends. I reviewed that one. And I've got Hergis Ridge, and I've got that one's filthy. I better clean that one off. Ugh. I've got Dusty. I've got Dire Straits. See, I've got my umpteenth copy of Selling England by the Pound, and another copy of A Night at the Opera, among others. And I've got loads more down here. I should really review them, shouldn't I? Oh, can't reach. And I've got. Oh no, these are Blu-ray movies. No one's interested in those. Have you seen Heart of a Dog by Laurie Anderson? That's Criterion, that is. Have you seen Company of Wolves? good film that. Stars, well, I wouldn't say stars, but Daniel Dax appears in this, and she was knobbed by the featured artist and did the album sleeves for League of Gentlemen and some of his other things. Oh God, it's a Brian Eno one. Ugh, nobody wants that. Oh, it's Tubular Bells. That's a good one, isn't it? Of course, Who's Next? And there's Brian Ferry. Yeah. Who likes Brian Ferry? And of course, if you've got Brian Ferry, you've got to have Roxy Music. So there you go. That's me. That's some of the surroundy soundy Blu-rays that sits in the collection on the floor at the moment. I take care of my things. Honest, I do, Gov. Payne says, I haven't got any lines in the next scene, so I'll bid you all good night. Have a good week, one and all. Payne's off. He gets tired. He gets tired very early. So he's got his Horlicks on, and he's retiring with his Horlicks. Have a good one. See you soon. Ronnie says, ever considered hanging your nicest guitar and your nicest bass on the wall? No, Mrs. won't let me. That's that one answered. I don't think I've got a nicest guitar and a nicest bass. Again, it was something I muted when I had was it 54 guitars, and I thought I could have a wall of guitars, but then the practicalities of drilling. Again, I'm not a fan of drilling holes in walls and that. It's just, I don't know. And then I'm always worried that someone might slam a door, like the neighbours, and the guitar comes off the wall. You know, there's that fear. Whereas at least on the multitude of stands I have, nothing's going to happen to them. They're not going to fall over. You know. So I guess the nicest looking guitar is the granny guitar, because it looks so nice. Looks so nice. Looks so pretty. Pretty guitar. And yeah, they're all saying night night to Payne as he heads off up the wooden hills to Bedfordshire. So there we go. Any more for any more? No, okay then. You don't make it easy, do you? I like it when there's a lot of people in talking. If you're all going to sit here, or if all the soccer counts are just sitting in, then there's not a lot to be done, is there really? But yeah, I'll have a look at the liquid filled vinyl when it comes. Maybe we'll do a thing. Maybe we'll do a needle drop. Ooh, that could be exciting, couldn't it? See if there's any difference between the audio of one of those. I've never owned anything with liquid, you know, like a record with liquid floating around. I mean, I remember seeing them years ago. They've been around for a while. I remember, oh God, I think there was a soundtrack to one of the horror films. I don't know if it was like Friday the 13th. I know they had one which had blood. Like, well, it weren't real blood, obviously, because it had coagulated, but it had red liquid in, signifying blood. Oh, Renee's turning in early too, blimey. Oh, it's not. It's only 11 o'clock. Oh, it's midnight where he is. Everyone's given up. What do I make of Marcel Duchamp? Was he a con artist? Blimey, Andrew, this is deep. Duchamp very famously is part of the, I guess you call found art. He's the fella that signed a urinal and said, well, anything can be art, and I declare this a urinal. And Eno said that when he saw it once and he used it. Now I don't think that's true, because it's not plumbed in. There'd be piss everywhere. So I think he's unless he had a really tiny piddle, unless it was just a splash, a dick splash, a dick flash. No, okay. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, because you've got to be a Brian Eno head to follow what I'm saying, and nobody is. Only you, Darren. And really, are you? No, not anymore. Is he a con artist? No, again, I think a lot of people are con artists. I think Brian Eno's a bit of a con artist. I think the featured artist is. I think people who are not very smart state the obvious, because stupid people then think they're smart, like him, Stephen Fry. There are very few actually smart people around, especially that are in the media or the world of music. Bowie was smart, but if you ever met him, he'd come across as an everyman. But he'd never pull rank and say he was the smartest person in the room. Incredibly humble. But he was probably the smartest musician out there. But Duchamp, was he a con artist? No, again, I think he was probably commenting on a lot of what was going on in the art scene at the time. And yeah, he was being clever. Was he right? Well, I don't know, because again, we now live in a time where someone like Tracy Emin can present an unmade bed. Again, I think it's clever because everything in the bed relates to a story in her life, because she is telling a story via the bed. If you come to it and just go, it's a bed, fine, but each element, each thing that's left there relates to an aspect or something that's happened in her life. So there's more to it than that. Again, a lot of classical art is like that, like Rembrandt's, The Night Watch, and take your pick. Works on a multitude of levels. So, to quote a very famous film, there's a very fine line between clever and stupid. Who knows? It's very hard to judge it with 21st century eyes, because we've had a lot of found art. We had the Damien Hirsts of this world who really followed that model, with these, sheep and shark, in formaldehyde. That's all found stuff. And, and he took his whole shtick from Andy Warhol and his factory, where Warhol employed people to replicate his art on a whole scale level. A lot of people say Warhol was a con man, but Warhol had a big history in like professional drawing. He drew adverts and things like that. That's why he riffed on the Campbell soup tin, because it was close to what he started in. So I don't know. It's I always say that photography is the lowest form of art, because you just point your camera and and press a button. Especially now. In the older days, when photography was in its first footering steps, it was an art form, because you had to know how to mix the chemicals, to fix the picture to the paper, and there was a degree of artistry to it, because the photographer very often developed their own pictures. Whereas now, digital photography, point and click, it's done. It's one and done, isn't it? So, I don't know. And there'll be photographers out there say, no, Darren, that's wrong. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment box below. Let's pretend that we're all clever. Thanks for the question. Good question. When he says, no, I'm still here, having a couple of beers, a Jack, and something to, he's having a smoke, he's having a crafty smoke. Andrew says, but it is art. Well, anything can be art, anything. If you declare it art, then it's art. Then you've got to define what art is, and what is the function of art. A bird singing in the morning sky, that can be art, but the bird doesn't know it's art, it's just singing. The idea of art is very nebulous. Again, going back to Eno, he says, it's all the stuff we don't have to do. Well, I don't have to sit and pick my toes, pick the jam out of my toes, but that isn't art. I think that's too loose. An expression. I think art comes from craft. And art and craft comes from discipline over time. And art also should almost be invisible. The artist should be able to create art without it looking like anything's even happened. It should be effortless. It should be like a swan paddling on a lake. You know, the swan is majestic, but under the water, the feet are paddling for dear life. You know, so it's complex, but art is in the eye of the beholder. You know, when you go around an art gallery, there'll be some people that are drawn to, you know, the Renaissance artists, or, you know, the pop art. You know, pop art. Kids love pop art because they, you know, you can do cutouts and whatnot. Again, some of it's all right, some of it I don't really get. You know, Rothko, for example. A lot of people don't get Rothko. The thing about Rothko is you have to see it in the flesh, right? And you have to see the texture. So I'm a bit of an art wanker, so, you know, and you got to get it right close, right? My best advice for Rothko is either start far back and move towards it very slowly until your nose is literally touching the canvas, right? Or I prefer starting like that and then pulling back until it fills your vision, and you get an idea of scale and colour, and, you know, also art should provoke a reaction: disgust, delight, elation, intrigue. If it doesn't do any of that, then it's not art. But again, art is subjective. Things work differently for different people, like music. So art can be, you know, it can be quite a nebulous concept, can't it, really? Andrew says, for years I never thought photography was art. It isn't. But, he says, but, to prove you and me wrong, right, I'm gonna show you a picture, and I want you to tell me if it's art, right? Just bear with me. I've got to get the graphic up. Where's the full image? I'm looking for a big version of it. Just bear with me. I want the largest one so I can put it on the screen. I think that one's the best one. Bear with me. I'm just gonna pull it up on the screen. I wanted to get the large uncropped image because there's a lot of right, this is photography, but is it art? What do you think? Is it art? Now, for those of you who don't know, that is featured in Wish You Were Here. What you see there is a picture by I think it's Storm Thorgerson, and there is a person doing a handstand into it's a lake, and you've got this lovely reflection of the lake, and it's very symmetrical, and you've got this thing, and it looks like he's just hit the water, but maybe he's coming out of the water, and you could view it upside down, couldn't you? You know, but it also looks, to me, like an audio wave. You know, like there's audio. I don't know if you've ever seen an audio wave. It looks something like that reflection. Now, is that art, or is it just a photograph? You see? There you go. Of course, I'm being a little bit of a tricky bastard there, because that is a posed image, and again, a lot of Thorgerson's work. Think of Momentary Lapse of Reason with all the beds. Nowadays that would be done digitally, but in those days it was hundreds of beds along the coast, and it was a particular photograph. That's art, isn't it? It's not, because it's not just snapping. People that just do snaps or portraits, really, that's not. It can't be art, can it? But that's where photography and art collide, surely. Ovi says, I drive past Damien Hirst studio every day, which is on a small industrial estate on the outside of a giant girl collecting money, which is taller than the building. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. But because again, he does a lot of this stuff, because he got embroiled in a copyright issue where he did is an exploded man, not exploded, but we know one of those models of a person, and you take the skin off, and then there's the skeleton, and you take that, and there's all the organs. Well, Damien Hirst did a copy of one of those, right? And I can't remember how true this is, or if this is one of those apocryphal tales, but he forgot to remove like the copyright symbol off of the foot. There was like a molded copyright of Mattel or something like that, and he got sued for it because he'd basically made a scale model of an existing toy, biological toy, and just scaled it up. He didn't create it himself. It wasn't something that he'd created. He just made a larger version of something. Is that art? No, because he didn't actually create something new. He just made something old bigger. Let me just see if that's true, and I haven't lied, because maybe I've told a massive fib. Let me just how do I get into this? Damien Hirst sued Exploding Man. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hirst created a trisection shark. No, that's not the one. Where is it? Oh no, where is it? Because he did one of it, but maybe I've misremembered it. Maybe it's one of those apocryphal stories. Giant Man. Images. I'm going to find it. If I can find the title of the artwork, that's the one. Is that the one? No, that ain't it. Is that the one? What's it called? Give me the title of the image. Yeah, it's called Him. Yeah, it's based on a. I was right. I did remember. Well done, Darren. Well done for remembering it right. Well done. When you get to my age, you worry about these things. But it says here. It's based on a children's toy anatomy set, and Hirst was sued in 2000 by the toys manufacturer for breach of copyright and settled out of court. But he did end up selling it for £1 million. You see, so that's not original. That's a copyright infringement. So there you go. And Andrew says, yes, it is wonderful photograph indeed. Yeah. It was done in one take, I know. And Renee says, what about AI in photography? Can we still recognise the real pictures? I don't know. The thing about AI is there is a kind of a signature to it. If you look at it long enough, you can spot it. There's been this actually will appeal to Renee actually. McDonald's have done an AI generated advert for the Netherlands. We get the Grinch, America gets the Grinch, Australia gets the Grinch, but you get AI generated slop for the McDonald's advert. And you can tell it's AI because it moves a certain way and it has a certain sheen to it. It's, again, some of this AI stuff is very realistic, but again, fingers, hands, the way things move, animals, the way animals move, you can tell day by day we are getting closer to that point where we are never going to tell the difference. So okay, let's do something. Let's do an experiment, eh? I've gone to Grok. Grok is my favourite thing, right? I love Grok. Just got to sign in. Will it let me sign in? Authorize. I've never signed in on the desktop one before. Right, so what we're going to create. I've gone to the Imagine section, right? And I want to upload. Right. Damien Hirst, him. That's that sculpture that he got sued for. Right, here we go. Is that a good picture? No, it isn't. Again, I want a big picture, a nice big picture of it, so I can. Oh, that's not good at high enough resolution. Is that good enough? Please talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, right, here we go. This is when it was outside the Tate Modern by looks of it. So what I'm going to do, he says, is I'm going to upload a file. Upload. And it's doing its filthy business. Here we go. And you tell me if this is realistic or not. That's just creepy, isn't it? Did you see that? Look. Ugh. Ugh. But the people walking in the background, look. They look realistic. But you see, that's AI for you. Oh no, I hope I don't get sued by Damien Hirst. So, you know, you can do all manner of stuff with Grok, he said. It is amazing. I mean, I did one. Oh God, I've got to find a photo. I'm gonna use one of my own pictures because it's, if I can find the picture I want, because I posted this on Facebook, but bear with me. Where would it have been? I'm trying to think. It's an old picture of yours truly. And it's not in that folder. Don't worry, we'll get there in the end. Oh dear. I bet it's not in that folder either, is it? Yeah, we'll use this one, right? Let's use this one. Just pulling it up. This is a very young me from 1990, I believe. Fucking just playing my Columbus guitar that I had, the first guitar I ever owned. Here we go. There I am in action mode, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to put this into Grok, and we can see what it does, because it will animate it. Zoink. Upload. It's doing its business. Come on, you can do it. Oh, didn't like it. Oh dear. Why didn't you like it? I'll try that again. Oh wait a minute, it's got one of my old ones. I'll try that again. It didn't like the file for some reason. Don't know why. It was just too cool. Oh, it's worked this time. It's doing its thing. So there you go. There I am. Now you're going to wait for me to come to life. Thing is, turns me into a girl every time. That's the only problem. My face turns into a female face because I've got long hair, because Grok is sexist. But where it's really interesting, he said, if I can find the old ones, here we go. This one, where is it now? Where did it go? I've lost it. I've lost it. Where did it go? There, this one, here we go. I was just trying to find the original image. I bet it was 89.90. There we go. Just bear with me. I've got hundreds and hundreds of pictures to scale through, and oh blimey, never going to find it. This is from 89. 89. Bear with me. Here we go. This is the original image, right? I did this one a long time ago, and this is the original image, right? As you can see, you can't see my face. My face is not visible. Playing a Columbus, playing the old Columbus there, and there's the Hopf. I've still got the Hopf. I haven't got the Columbus, sold out many years ago, but I fed this into Grok and it did this, and I shit you not, it looks like me. When you see the face is mine, and it's like, how does it do that? Look, that looks like me. How does it do that? And that I find truly amazing and terrifying at the same time. And that's Grok. So it's AI is just, it's bonkers. Heavy metal dude, I look like that for years, mate. I was like that for many years. Heavy metal, man, heavy metal. I only started getting my hair cut short when I turned 30, because I thought being 30 and having long hair was just stupid. So yeah, I thought I can't be over 30 with long hair. That would look stupid. So there you go. And then when my hair started to go, I started shaving my head. And Mrs. will attest to all this. I always said I'm not keeping my hair long when I hit my 30s, because that looks stupid. So there you go. Those are the old days, but that's the power of the Grok. That's the power of AI and what it can do. So there you go. Mind you, I was going to do the video of this. I was going to do a video about this. I mean, I've got the video files ready. I just need to kind of edit it. But YouTube have introduced a new tool to help people like me deal with people who are creating AI versions or even like edits of you, and it's under the content detection. Content detection. Likeness. Oops, here we go. You can actually upload your likeness onto content detection, and it will scour YouTube and see if anybody's created either like a digital version of you or is using your content without permission. And yeah, there you go. So it's yeah, very, very powerful, very powerful stuff. Isn't it just? Yes. Andrew says, mine's still long. Well, that's fine. That's fine if you want to look like your grandmother. I mean, do you look in the mirror and go, Granny, where have you been? And that's fine. Don't suit me. Now again, I could grow the little bit left out, and I could tie it back into a ponytail and look like one of those guys who lives in the desert in Arizona, you know, who's seen too many UFOs. But it's not for me, I'm afraid. It's not for me, I'm afraid. I like my hard man look, thank you very much. It suits me head. And she says, I'm an artist. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Still look like your granny though. And people say to me, it's because you're bald. No, I used to say this when I had hair. I think men of a certain age who have long hair look stupid. And I said that when I had hair. You know, I wish the missus was here. She'd say, yep, he's always said that. So, you know, it's just the way it is. But now I say it, people say, you're just jealous. I'm not. I'm not. I prefer this because when I had long hair, I had to wash it all the time and blow dry it and keep it clean, and then it'd get knotted and I have to tie it back and I'd lose hair bands and too much complicated nonsense for me. Much easier. Put a razor over it every so often. Much easier. Yeah. But no, the big question, Andrew, is could you still be an artist with short hair? Is it like Samson and Delilah? If you cut your hair, will you suddenly not be an artist? The world needs to know. We need you to go to the mirror. We need you to cut off your hair and then report back if it's affected your artistry in any way. I think it will make you a better artist because you'll start to appreciate us bald folk. You know, we have to weather the slings and arrows of great misfortune. Remember, baldism, it's the last ism. It's the last acceptable ism. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do report back on that. Let me know how you got on. Oh yeah. Of course, I'm an artist too. But anyway, we don't want to talk about that. So I mean, we can talk about. Let's look. Why not? Why don't I bore you with some music? Andrew says, "Okay, I'm going to think. I'm going now. I like my hair. It's taken years to grow." Beware the tube, says John. What tube? Andrew's run off. I've upset him. I was joking. Come on. You can't go, Andrew. If you go, then no one's going to ask any questions except for John, who's obsessed with the tube. I asked, what tube? What, the tube train? I haven't been on the tube in years. I don't know. What tube? What was he talking about? So we're talking about AI. Now again, I've been using AI. I've been using AI to create music recently. It's something I've been fiddling around with, and so I'm going to bore you with that now because nobody wants to play anymore. Now Andrew's gone to bed. See, he'll come back. Oh, Andrew, did you ever find out what happened to the parcel? Did you find out the tracking? Was it delivered? Well, I need to know. I'm intrigued. Renee says, I've got the Pitbull head shaver. Great head shaver. I've got a Remington one. It's so good, I didn't buy the company. Hey, Victor Kayam. I got a Remington one. But I also go over it with a Braun just to make sure. You know, I do the double. Man. I do the double. But I only do it I do it once, maybe twice a week. It depends how I'm feeling. This time of year, I do it less because, well, when it's cold, obviously. But you know, in the summer, it's good. Oh, John says YouTube. Oh, okay. Beware the YouTube, indeed. Beware, beware, ooh, beware the YouTube. It's very scary out there. Well, you know, I had a few issues with people uploading weird edits of my stuff and making me look not very nice. But hey, defamation is a wonderful law, and YouTube takes notice when you talk about the Online Protection Act and how they're infringing it with every publication that they don't address. Oh, we had some good emails back and forth, did me and YouTube, because we had, the UK brought in various laws to protect people, and but it's interesting that they're doing this, because they obviously anticipate that AI use of people's likenesses will be an issue in the future, and the fact that they've offered it to non-entities like me in the beta stage is really quite, I think it's really quite good. But oh, it's no joy. What is it in the system, Andrew? Is it there? Is it lost? What's going on? I need to know. I feel like I need to know. Right, so I'm gonna bore you rigid with some music, because I can and I will. He said, I did a track, if I can find it. Of course I can find it. It's in my folder called Working Mixes. I did a track called, let me just make sure I ain't got it on yet. Got the headphones of shame on. Right. I was arsing around. I created this piece of music purely for the intention of loading it into Suno, right? So it's not a fully formed piece of music, it's just a drum beat with some bass. You get the idea? Get the idea? So I load that into Suno, and what happened? I can't remember. I'll load in the files, or maybe it'd be easier to. No, I'll load in the files because it'd be easier to do it that way than to try and figure out what I did. But like I said, I'm using Suno as an ideas board. So I'm just waiting for the project to load in. I don't know why bother. Because musicians and everyone's finished because of AI. We're all fucked. Have I told you that? Have I told you we're all fucked? So anyway, what it did, he said, is it came up with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boink. When you use AI, Suno, it makes everything sound like it's on the radio. So here's the project. Ooh. It turned that track into this. I don't like that. But I thought what I'll do is I'll use the drum track instead, because the drum track's alright. That'll be fine. And so what I did is I kind of deconstructed it like you do, and I turned it into this, which bears very little resemblance to that track or the first track I played you. I turned it into this, one thing into another thing, and then turn it back into another thing. It becomes transformative, wholly transformative, and that's how I'm messing around with AI. You know, I put one thing in, it throws out something else. I listen to that and go, and kind of try and put me back into the mix, if you know what I mean. I don't know if it's successful. I don't know if these songs are me, if there's someone else. I'm not really sure. It's I've done 2 or 3 pieces like this at the moment. In fact, yeah, I've done 1, 2. Yeah, I've done 3. I've done 3 pieces that have used this technique. And for me, I think again, it's a real interesting springboard. If you're suffering from like kind of a block, a writer's block, not that I've ever suffered with that, because I usually just arse around until something appears. You know, I've never ever suffered with writer's block. I just choose not to write or record, or writing or recording. If I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. It's not writer's block, you know what I mean? It's just I don't feel like it. But if I do sit down to create something, there's usually something, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? I don't believe in writer's block. That's the thing. But however, this does kind of drag you into directions you wouldn't necessarily go. And I find that really interesting. It's almost like having, like I said before, it's almost like having a producer. It's almost like having somebody here on your shoulder going, try it this way, or have you thought about this? You know, so I think there are some clever techniques to be had, but, and it's a big but, it will always make you sound really boring. It will always make you sound like you're on the radio. And if you want the weird human shit, you've got to kind of go back into it and inject that weird human shit back into the AI, separately. So take the idea, strip it apart, and put the human stuff all over it, and then it stops being AI again. And I think you're going to start seeing this with with a lot of AI projects. I think people are going to get smart with it. So you may see, again, in movies, there's all these like AI movies being made, but I think you might see, a lot of AI movies with maybe real elements added to it, real human actors added, with green screen or whatever. There could be, clever uses of it that will, make it transformative. But yeah, this is my limited attempt to make some use out of AI, and I feel like I'm pretty late to the game, but the floodgates are open. It's kind of over for musicians because AI music is almost imperceptible to the real thing. There's been number ones that have been AI generated, and it kind of leaves you wondering what's the bloody point. But why not just carry on, Andrew says, sounds like Simple Minds. Yeah, it always sounds radio friendly, That's the thing. It always makes it sound like someone else, if you know what I mean, because I guess it's been AI trained on those bands. Or more like you too. Yeah, well, it's a bit of that, isn't it, really? Renee says the drums are hard to record, I think. Well, the thing with I don't have a drum kit anymore. I used to have various devices I'd tap away at, but the good thing about AI is it can come up with a decent drum track. And the thing with Suno is if you pay them enough money, they will allow you to download the MIDI to it. Though I use like what's known as a tracker, which will listen to the track and know where to put the bass drum and the snare drum and whatever, and also add manual stuff myself that I play on the keyboard, again to humanize it, to make it sound not AI, to give it a bit more of a human feel to things. So there's a lot of manipulation going on behind the scenes, but that's one way of making AI. Oops, I've left that up on the screen. Those are the tracks. Those are the tracks I'm currently got in the folder. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, That one is the other track. That should go in the not used folder. Zoink. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tracks at the moment. That's another whole album worth of tracks there that have not been used. And that's the improvisations folder of stuff that could probably go. Actually, I've got to add a couple of tracks to that now, because there is a. Oh no, that's in a separate folder. That's in the Soundscapes folder. We've got some ambient stuff in that folder as well. So there's many things. There are many things going on all at once. So yeah, hopefully that was an interesting insight. I've done these videos on my music channel before, but I don't think people are that interested. Again, I don't know if people are that interested in what I do, so I do it. I do it for whatever reason. I'm not sure why I do the things I do. All I know is that I do them. I'm sure Andrew's the same. Andrew, you're an artist, you know. Why do you do the things that you do? Maybe people pay you handsomely for your art, or you could be like me and no one wants to pay you because you do music, and music is the lowest common denominator now when it comes to artistic endeavours, unless you're, I don't know, Taylor Swift or Coldplay or Radiohead or whatever. So yeah, I should really just sell the guitars and give up. Maybe, yeah, I should just probably do that. What do you reckon? Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to call it quits, don't you? Andrew says I have to die first. That's nice. That's charming. That is. Oh, are you banking on the old becoming famous like Van Gogh or Van Gogh? You're not banking on that, are you? That's what I'm banking on. I'm hoping that one day, when I'm dead, someone will make a documentary about me. Oh boy, that's gonna be terrible. Yeah. They'll get Danny DeVito to play me. I know it. I just know it. But yeah, let's not think about that. let's not think about death and dying. I mean, that's the next stop, isn't it? Rennie says we can start a band. You know, I don't want to say. Can I start a band? You're in bloody Netherlands. I'm not coming all the way over there. Don't you remember? Us Brits are banned from the EU, aren't we? We're not allowed to come in. We're not allowed to come into Europe anymore. Ever since we left, I think that's the rule, isn't it? Anyway, no one would want me in their band. Seriously, no one would want me in their band. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing to have me in your band. So anyway, I think I've bored you all enough. I think I've bored you into submission with my various noodlings, and so I'm going to head off. So thanks again, big thanks to Andrew for staying around, because he was going to throw in a towel. You know, he was almost going to quit, but I managed to tease him back for a little bit longer. So we should all say thank you. In the comments box, say thank you, Andrew, for sticking around. So make him feel welcome, because you know it can be hard. It can be hard to suffer the slings and arrows of me when I'm mocking your haircut. I'm just jealous. Isn't it? It's just bald man's jealousy. But I think we'll stop it there, and we'll get ready for next week. Andrew says 99. I'm gone, mate. Cheers. But he's out the door. He didn't even wait for the end credits to roll. Bloody hell, you people. What you like? I have to keep my eye out for that box set, wherever it went. should really have a go. Renault says, "Way to go, Andrew." He did. He just went. He's off. He's gone. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope I haven't bored you too much this week, and we'll do this all again soon. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say by now. You should know what that is, and that is, if you can't be good, be safe. But more importantly, don't tell your mother. Night, night.